Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Just kind of watching it started auto-playing because I just got done watching today's video. Now, there's no color profile going on with the two iPhones. The S23 Ultra, I mentioned, I believe, yesterday. Boy, I struggled to get it, and it just, depending on the lighting, it just doesn't stay. You get into a light scene versus a dark scene, it just keeps fluctuating a lot. It's not a problem anymore because the S23 was boxed up and sent back to Xfinity yesterday. But good morning, everybody, and yeah, Princess is still snoozing. I just turned all the lights on, so I have my studio lighting going here. So this is the one I mentioned. Terry was like, "Do you want to use this lamp?" I'm sitting there going, even right at my desk. So if I'm doing any type of open boxes, which I never do, I have a spotlight. I got lights all around the room. And eventually here, once Christmas time comes, get the tree relit. I have it all unplugged with moon. So it is. I've been up since like 4:30. I woke up and I tried to lay back down, and then my brain started going, and I've been up. Video was edited. It was all done. So it's now 5:55, and it's still pitch black outside. But I think we're going to be walking in the dark a little bit this morning. I want to get these guys out a little bit earlier. So, but I figured, you know what? Change the pace. We'll do a little morning in the house vlog, because I don't do that very often anymore, like I used to. So, back to the DJI mics. They're not connected right now. You can probably tell because the air conditioner, which is on fan. There we go. Turn that off. The channel is Techner Global. He had released a video before I left Sunday morning about, oh, you can use the DJI mics, they work really great. And I commented, are you having a problem with unsupported file system? Well, he turned on ProRes and magically he found it. I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm not 100% sure. But this gentleman, he's not in this country, I don't believe. He went and researched it. So the receiver on the DJI mics has a 3 megabyte storage for whatever reason. He's not even sure why it's there. Because each one of the transmitters can store, I think they have, 8 gigs. Because they can restore up to like 15 hours of audio files. So that's the way when you're running ProRes, because the only time this itty bitty little guy works is in ProRes. Yeah, because if you turned off ProRes, it will not save to the hard drive. It's thinking it's a drive, and it's not formatted in the system for the phone, so that is what is causing my error message every time. For me personally, that's frustrating when you're vlogging, and the fact that, I'm putting it in this guy and turning it around facing me with the back camera. If I were to launch the camera and not answer that message and hit record, it's not going to record. It's not too bad out here. As you can tell, it's really foggy again. So, getting moving here with these kids. A little after 6:30. It's like 6:35 now? Yeah. I loved them up to get them out of bed. Yeah, you gonna join up front, guys? You see people? Let's see. Alright. They're not worried about you. They must be heading for school. Jeez. In this weather? That sucks. Well, as you saw in the end of yesterday's video, I did play around a little bit with night photo. It is a little bit sharper, I'm not gonna lie. There's a few more stars in night photo than there was. When we come back around, if it's still somewhat dark, this tree right here really gives me some really good stars. For some reason, you need something in the foreground with the iPhone. And I did watch the gentleman, I think he's over in Australia, tried to do moon photos with the iPhone and basically said no. He says, if you want to do moon photos, get a Samsung S23 Ultra. I'm like, oh, you brat. I don't have one of them anymore, and I don't want one back again either. So I really thought that if you actually launched the camera and answer the question, every time you go back in, it wouldn't do it. But if you switch modes, every time you go back into ProRes, that unsupported file system comes up. So just got to pay attention to it, I guess. Hopefully one day there might be a fix for it. There might be a firmware up there from DJI. Excuse you, young lady. I was walking. I don't know. And then, honestly, the flash seems a lot brighter now than it did the first day. I don't know. Maybe that adjusted at some point, but it seems like it's way more blinding. So maybe it goes by how much light there's. I don't know what it's causing it. So what are we doing back there? Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to snap some photos here. Granted, with the foggy sky, it's only doing a 1 second night photo. So I was trying to get some silhouettes of the trees and stuff. We'll see how they came out. I'll post them. Let's get back into the night photography now that we're getting into more darkness throughout morning and night for me. It's a lot easier because during the summer when it gets dark, you know, around 9 o'clock at night, usually I'm no longer going outside anymore. Tim and I keep talking about going back over to Southside and doing our walk, and going downtown again and testing out the 15. I don't think I'm going to do a side-by-side. It's just way too much. Crazy thing is, when I was watching, I don't know if it was yesterday's video or which one, but the veterinarian office over here, when I was filming it the other day, I was actually filming the fog, but the lighting, they did make that little bit of a coating. It doesn't get rid of the that little green speck, but it does seem to help with the actual lights not being like overshot. So granted, I have everything turned down too, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So see how the lights aren't just like, you can tell that they're lights. See how the other lenses hold up. Even with the 5X, I mean, it's, you know, pretty accurate. It's a little bit. I mean, my eyes can see a little bit more detail, but no moon showing this morning. I've always found with the iPhone that the moon is shot better with video. Anyway, camera's never really been able to pick it up ever, even if you draw it all the way down. Although I do want to try an exposure change with the moon. I think that may help the situation a little bit. Now, it's worth a try. So right now I have my exposure knocked down at 0.7. You can go down to 0.2. You can go down to full 2, just to see what would happen. But I mean, I do have the Sony still, so if I really want a moon picture, I have a way of getting it. But put it in video with the Sony is not good. It's too much to hold steady for that long period of time. Boy, that fog is pretty dense. I am actually getting wet from it. It's almost like misting. When the flash was on that one time, you could see the mist in the air. It's not too bad out this morning though. I think it's in the 60s. A little bit Christmas the air, but it's not very chilly. What do you think, little dog? Flash didn't come on, so you're kind of blacked out. We'll see how that comes out. Hello? Who's running in there? You can see the mist. Something just went running through the little marsh area. Keep our eyes open. Make sure no critters come out and eat us. You leave the bunny rabbit alone, Priya. You can see it really now with the flash coming on. What I'm talking about, the moisture in the air. Almost looks kind of like it's raining and it's not. That's like pedal number 3, Pri. She's making good use of this round. 3 of them and 1 of the others. Gives you an idea of the street light. You can still see some detail in the kind of the halo of it coming down. It's kind of cool. And the flash actually came on that clip. Surprised. Get my dead tree silhouette in the fog. Looks cool. There's actually 2 of them over here. I'll get the other one too. This one's not quite as dead. Oh, that one. It's that one there. Not really at the angle I wanted. Get something a little different. Who needs a gimbal? Just learn slow hand motions. ShiftCam makes it easier. Actually a little bit too close still. That tree over there looks neat too though, in the fog. You guys ever wonder why I kind of pause sometimes? It's because the way I can screen grab it. from Final Cut. Keep your puppy butt moving, Priya. She keeps going on both sides of me, and she's wrapped me up multiple times on this walk. I really need to research what these are. I've seen them in a couple different places now. I think they're really neat looking. They did cut them down at one time, and they grew all back this year. I don't know what it is about them. They just kind of look like they don't belong in Pennsylvania, maybe like in Florida or something. So because of the houses, I almost have to crop this. Oh, in video you can't use the other lenses. Yeah, and that's no good. Alright. Well, we could do that. Not that I ever filmed that way. So I think I mentioned it. When you go to video, I believe you crop already to 28mm. That's why you don't get the extra lenses in video. They could have given you 35mm though, with a tap. Kind of surprised, because normally Apple keeps everything working for every part of the camera, and that's one thing they didn't. So you get two, which takes you from 28 to, well, 24, but cropped to 28 out to 48mm on the zoom. So, and then you get your 5x. Kind of interesting though. Yeah, but I'm thinking that's why, because you don't have, you're already at 28 on video versus you're at 24 on photo. You can tell instantly when you go to photo, everything pulls back a ton more. I think I never noticed until yesterday. It's like there's something fenced in back there. Of course, I don't normally, I've been walking around the dumpsters on this side. I don't know what that is though. It's like a pen to something. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we already got leaves falling here. Wow, a lot of leaves down. Crazy. Alright, kids and I are out for a walk. And we're doing our potties. Yay! Well, they are. I'm not. That would be wrong. I surely didn't notice this many leaves down this morning, though. Of course, it was kind of dark when we came through here this morning. Hey, buddy. Is it dark this morning? Yeah. It's going to be a little hard to see, but my leaves are changing. The sun's kind of blinding us here. If I go to the top of that tree over there, I can get to see them a little bit better. Well, that's actually looking pretty good for just the 5X. Wow, it's quite a zoom. It's not moon zoom, but it's more of practical zoom. Oh yes, another fun day at work. Wasn't too bad. I'm just exhausted though when I get home every night. I'm ready to curl up. I curl up on the recliner for a few minutes, or the couch for a few minutes. Just need that few minutes just to let my body rest. Yesterday I didn't do that, and of course late at night, 8 o'clock at night. But then when I did lay down, whoo baby, my body just like, all my muscles and everything settled. It was crazy. Felt so good. One's pulling me one way, one's pulling me the other way. Guys, can we maybe keep walking? Do something. Anyway, so I think we're doing spaghetti and green beans, or pasta and green beans. I don't think we're doing spaghetti. My other choice was grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. Tomorrow, that sounds good. It'll be a half day tomorrow, so. Oh, I'm ready for that. Yeah, I filled the car with gas on the way home. $50 freaking for a tank of gas. God almighty. So, but the next 3 Sundays, we're off again, because I have to work 2 Sundays, and Mike's busy this coming. So I got to stop over at my mom's and try to help her with the dehumidifier not draining. It has a drain line, and she hears it, but I think the way it's set up, it has to get completely full for it to work, which is kind of silly in my opinion, but I'm going to look at it anyway, make sure it's not cluttered, not gummed up or something, and we'll go from there. What you doing hiding in the sumac there, buddy? Look how these dogs don't get poisoned. Smelling where all the dogs have gone pee. Probably including this guy. Come on, Priya, come on. I just can't get away from saying your catchphrase. Come on, Priya. I try to refuse on Sunday. Everybody else said it for me. She likes to walk in the grass more than she likes to walk on the pavement sometimes. She goes back and forth. Nah, leave that alone. Didn't know we had walnuts around here. No dog trying to come around the back of me, you little goofball. Oh, these kids are so happy to see me when I get home. And then pretty, she gets weird though. Then I try to walk away from her and she yelps. She's not hurt. She's being goofy. That didn't work right. I came back from slow motion to ProRes and it didn't ask me the question this time. It's been getting a little bit better, but understanding why it's doing it now, it's not so bad. Well, I cut the grass today. Yeah, that'll be fun tomorrow morning when it's wet and I get all the grass on my shoes. Track it in the house. Got clumps of grass as it is. Oh, puppies. I've always been under the impression that with the iPhone, the 240 was not the smartest one to put it in slow motion, so I have it set to 120. That was 240. I don't know how well that came out. I was trying to figure how to make the dandelion fly. The only thing I could figure was use my foot, and I squished it. I did see some of the pedals fly, but I wasn't holding it right. I should have just used the handle on the tripod and done it that way, but I'm not that smart until after the fact, so don't play around too much with slow motion anymore. Back in the day, it used to be a much more interesting thing, but I think I've come up with a new solution for the external hard drive, speaking of slow motion, because running in 60 frames per second. I think I have an idea for that. What in the hell is this? Really? They've wrapped me. Completely have wrapped me. Oh, now they've unwrapped me. Yeah, you better run, you little turd. Let me get over here and get out of this freaking mess. I want to see the purple flowers, Mateo. They're in the shade. I want to see if it looks any different. Ooh, we got some bee action. Alright, we'll do it in ProRes too. That was 240 frames per second with a bee flying around. Kind of cool to see. That bee pollinating still. It's crazy. I don't even know what it is out, but it's warm. Come on, Basset. Come on. It's kind of interesting, holding ShiftCam upside down. It works. What do we know there, princess? I'm a dog, and I enjoy sniffing the grass thoroughly. And I got a piddle. I know lots of things dead. Trying to grab the tree from the other side. The sun's actually hitting this side. Now that's the bigger jasmine maple. And the little one that's growing out of this stump. That's really impressive to me. I'll pull back just a little bit. Try not to get the fence in there. It's really pretty. That's the real reason autumn is the most favorite time of year, is because, as if you can't tell, I love color. And just green. It's nice when it comes back in the springtime, but I'd like to see a little bit more than that throughout the year. Like I said, around here, the park, people aren't planting flowers anymore. Around here, very few, because they're not allowed. So, kind of sucks, but I did get a comment though. Someone could definitely tell when I switched over to the iPhone because of the background blur versus the DJI Action 4. That's another telltale sign. No, now, obviously, if I'm filming the other way, that doesn't work, but when I'm filming myself, there's definitely bokeh going. That definitely seems to be much more prominent on this, and it seems to be less artificial. Well, I'll tell you what, that is one clear night. Alright, give me a second here. Give me a second here. And we're going to take a nice slow pan. You know what? Let's just pull back. Yeah. Look at this. I mean, there is not a cloud. visible anywhere. It's awesome. The only problem is it does kind of hurt the sunset looking super pretty. That's looking kind of cool out there.